this is Sung, and I'm the Principal and Director of Sky Academy. And what we're doing is we're looking at linear functions. Alright, so this whole topic has got to do with linear functions. Linear coming from the word line. Okay, so we're looking at straight lines and how they operate and all the phenomena that we can study from straight lines. Okay, straight lines on the number plane. And in this episode, what we're going to be looking at specifically is the midpoint between 2 points, x1, y1, x2, y2, on a straight line. Because obviously the midpoint will lie on the straight line distance between those 2 points, because the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So it'll be somewhere, so if we have x1, y1 and x2, y2, the midpoint, or the point that's halfway between them, will lie somewhere on the straight line between them, right? But where on the straight line will it lie? Well, to understand this, we need to understand that x1 and x2 are the horizontal displacement, y1 and y2 are the vertical displacement. Okay? So in other words, it tells us the vertical position and the horizontal position. So, let's have a look at the horizontal position here. So on a straight line function, you've got x1, which lies somewhere there, and x2, which lies somewhere here. The middle distance between these 2 points will actually be the average of those 2 points. Average meaning you add up all the numbers and then divide by the number of numbers. So, add up all the numbers, x1 plus x2, and then all over the number of numbers. 1, 2 numbers, so it'll be 2. So it'll be the average of those 2 numbers, and that will be the halfway point between them. Yes? Now, similarly, on the vertical axis, you will have the same thing. So if I were to do this and show you the vertical axis, y1 would be somewhere here, y2 would be somewhere here. Yes? And the halfway point, again, will be the midpoint between the two. So it would be, let's do it over here, y1 plus y2 all over 2, the midpoint or the average between the two. Does that make sense? So the midpoint would be where this point coincides with this point. So dot 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 coincides with, well, in this case it's this point, dot 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 dot. Does that make sense? And that would be the midpoint between these 2 points. Got it? And so the midpoint formula says that the midpoint between 2 points x1 and y1 and x2 and y2 is x1 plus x2 over 2, y1 plus y2 over 2. And we'll have a look at this by doing a specific example. So if we were to find midpoint between -4 and 8 and 8 and 6, for example, what we would do is the midpoint would be x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. And we would first have to work out what is x1, what is x2, what is y1, what is y2. Well, this point here would be x1, this point here would be y1, because this point here is point 1, and you've got your x and y coordinates, and this point here is point 2, so it'd be x2, y2. Does that make sense? Now, when it comes to something like this, it doesn't matter which point comes first. This could be x1, y1, or this could be x2, y2. It would make the same answer be true for both, because it wouldn't matter. The midpoint between this point and this point is still the same regardless of whether we start with this point as our first point, this point as our second point, or this point as our first point and this point as our second point. It really wouldn't matter, would it? Okay, so as long as we're consistent, so if this is point 1, then this needs to be x1 and y1 instead of x1 and y2, right? So we just need to be consistent with that. So the answer would be -4 plus 8, because it's that plus that, over 2, and then 8 plus 6 over 2, which is 8 plus 6. Now, that ends up equaling, what is it? 4 on 2 and 14 on 2 ends up equaling 2.7. And the midpoint is the 0.27. Yeah, midpoint, most students find that not too bad, alright, not too difficult, but just have a look at that and see if you understand. And I'll see you on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching.